was hoping I was not going to go after Sabrina. No, no, no. Queen of Booker T, dynamic speaker, married to an Olympic gold champion. How do you follow that? How do you follow that? So I'm going to do my best. Good evening, Booker T. On behalf of my family, we want to thank you for inducting James Kavin Ross into the Booker T. Washington High School Distinguished Hall of Fame. We love him. He's did a great job for us, and he's carrying his legacy on. I want to make you a promise, though. I'm going to try not to cry. I'm not sure I can keep that promise because of those memories I share with my best friend. I can't walk a mile in his shoes, so I just put them on today, okay? And he would have done the same for me. We saw the joke in everything. There was no occasion where something wasn't funny. It didn't matter what it was. We saw the joke in everything. I moved away after high school, and I would come home during the holidays, and we'd have what we call a hoorah session. You guys know what a hoorah session is? Okay, we'd have a hoorah session, and I would get a call from Kevin the day before I would arrive. He said, I hope you you better bring a bag full of snappy comebacks, because it's about to be on and popping to the early morning. So let me give you an example of one thing he said to me. As you can tell, I'm follically challenged. I've been this way since my 20s, and I knew I had a problem when Kevin walked up to me. He looked at me because I was sitting down. He said, Ed, your hair's so thin, I can see what you're thinking. That's when I knew I was in trouble. So that's an example of a hoorah session. Can you imagine that going on till 4 o'clock in the morning, every holiday? So I want to tell you a story if you don't mind. When we lived in Gary, Indiana for 10, 11 years, and we moved back to Tulsa. We moved back to Tulsa from Gary, too late to enroll at Booker T. So my father said, y'all going to school. So we went to McLean. They sent us to McLean. Now my family all live in arts. Oh my gosh, that McLean, that school, they're mean over there. They're fighting and shooting. And I'm like, huh, what? What they didn't understand, we went to a Gary, Indiana school system. We went to school with the kids from the projects. So that didn't bother us at all. But let me tell you, when I got to McLean, our first day, people were friendly, engaging, happy, loving. I felt everyone was my cousin because every time I saw somebody, they would say, "What's up, cuz?" And that's what I told my father. He's like, "Ed, that's just a figure of speech. Everybody ain't your cousin, Ed." So we go to McLean, and I enjoyed it. I got to be honest, I enjoyed McLean. And I'll never forget this. Never forget this. On a Wednesday, Kevin and I were getting ready to catch the bus to go to McLean. And my father, in his infinite, and this is when you know you're in trouble with my father. He was walking toward the door. He put his hands in his pocket and he stopped. Then he turned back around. Ed, Kevin, come here. I said, yeah. Hand still in his pocket. He said, Kevin, who's your English teacher? Kevin's like, ooh. Okay. Ed, who's your English teacher? Who's your math teacher, Ed? Y'all like McLean? I said, yeah, Daddy, they fun. It's fun over there. They got a jukebox in the hallway, and that's like a party every day. He said, okay, Ed, you and Kevin both are in band. What's your band director's name? Now, at this point, I'm scared out of my socks. So I forget. He said, that's what I thought. Get in the car. Now, my family, there are a bunch of things that kids can't do. You can't have chocolate. Grapes are grown folks' food. The only ice cream you can have is vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate in that big white tub. And you never, never, ever sit in the front seat. It doesn't matter if there's nobody there. You don't sit in the front seat. So me and Kevin were in the back seat, and we stayed on Frankfurt at the time. We went towards 46. We made the right turn on 46. He's like, yes. We get to Peoria. I'm thinking we're going to turn left. We turned right. And we're like, oh, this ain't good. This cannot be good. So he takes me, we're at Booker T, and he went to Coach Furch's office. He said, "Coach, I got to get these boys in at Booker T because they got no discipline, and they need some discipline, and I need to get them in Booker T today." Coach Furch says, "Yeah, we take care of it." And the next thing that came out of his mouth was, "And Coach, these are my boys, and I love them. But if they get out of line, whoop them and send them home." Coach smiled. I was like, that's not a good sign either. Just when that happened, one of my classmates walked through the door, peeked her head in the door. She said, "Hey, y'all, we got 2 new students at Booker T. One is fine and the other one is ugly." So me, I'm looking at Kevin and saying, "Hey, man, you're going to have a tough time with Booker T." You good. Took me 40 years to understand. When I saw a picture of Kevin that's in the program, I'm like, "Oh my God, he's handsome. He's super handsome." So I was the ugly one with the good personality? For 40 years, I thought that. Kevin never brought it up, not one time. And I appreciate that because he could have brought that up in the hoorah sessions and I'd have been dead in the water. I've been dead in the water. So I'm going to switch gears on y'all for a little bit. I heard a sermon from Reverend James Hagan a few years ago, right before Kevin passed. And his sermon began with an allegory. Do you all know what an allegory is? An allegory is a story, a poem, a picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning or message. Y'all smelling what I'm stepping in so far? It's going to get better. So I'm going to read you this allegory that reminds me of Kevin. The allegory is called Undressing a Well-Dressed Lie. Y'all ready? Y'all want to hear this? You want to hear it? Here you go. The truth and a lie were out swimming one day. The lie said to the truth, "Hey, let's see how far we can swim underwater." Truth said, "All right." While truth was swimming underwater, lie took advantage of this time that truth could not see what was going on. Suddenly jumped out of the water, put on truth's clothes, went running down the street. So people who saw lie with truth's clothes on said, "Hey, that looks like truth running down the street, acting like a maniac." In the meantime, Truth gets out of the water and he's like, "Hey, my clothes are gone." He's taking my clothes, put them on. He starts to run after the lie. Now, imagine this. Truth is chasing the lie. So those same people who saw lie in Truth's clothes said, "Oh, look, that's truth right there. Yeah, that's the naked truth," because he's chasing the lie. Truth eventually caught up with the lie and began to undress the lie. Y'all with me? Kavin undressed a well-dressed lie. He got the clothes back from those Tulsa race massacre victims. They got their clothes back. He did that. So I am incredibly proud of the work that he did for us. With that said, this is why we hosted his victory celebration on Greenwood, at the Greenwood Cultural Center, and on Memorial Day. Kevin loved Tulsa. He loved Greenwood. He loved everything it represented. And he was a tireless soldier for the city, and everyone knows him. So I want to say thank you again for inducting Kevin. I can see right now that Kevin's probably in heaven, getting Reggie to drive him around in his golden chariot, and pulling his camera in the little wagon behind it. And the reason why Reggie's driving Kevin around was because Kevin probably didn't have enough fuel in his golden chariot. I can see him now, camera in one hand, notepad in the other, a bunch of press passes hanging off his neck, half of which he made, looking for that next interview. Again, thank you very much. It is indeed an honor to represent my brother here at Tulsa. Thank you.